Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Ashley Nicole and welcome back to a morning live. Y'all see me, I'm here today, right? Y'all able to see my face today. I thought that I would come to do something different. I hope y'all can hear me. Um, this is also different for me. I'm going to do like a little quick get ready with me, just kind of like putting on my makeup a little bit, not anything drastic. I'm not like one of these YouTube gurus. I'm not a makeup artist or anything like that. I'm just putting a little bit on my face before I start my day for real. But I also want to, of course, have a random chat. And so, since this is, let me look at my phone, National Heart Month, I think it is National Heart Month. Um, Right. It's the month where, right, you're doing things to check on your heart, make sure everything is okay with your health, your physical health related to your heart, things of that nature, right? But also because if you don't know and you're new to my channel, I am a licensed therapist, and my channel is all about talking about mental health, right? Reducing the stigma related to mental health, making sure that the topics related to mental health are not a taboo or not taboo topics, right? We talk about it all. And so, in the spirit of National Heart Month, it's also important to heal your mind, right? And a lot of times, the reason why, or part, or it could be a factor of why the heart is hurt per se, is because of what's going on in the mind, right? So, I'm going to talk a little bit about that throughout this live. So, I hope you all enjoy. But I'm not going to, I might mention some of the products I'm using, but the products I use are like just tried and true products that I always use. I'm not a person that wears makeup every day. Really, well, I used to, like when I would work like in the office and things like that, but now that I work from home, not so much. I just put on moisturizer and go. So a lot of the products, right, I still, use that I would use before that I've repurchased. Um, so yeah, so my face is already moisturized, and you all can use whatever moisturizer that you have, but usually this is nothing drastic, right? I just do what I do, putting a little bit of makeup on for the day. But yes, so if you all want to know some of the products that I'm using, just let me know and I'll let you know what they are. But yes, a lot of times the clients, or just in my years of being a therapist, what I see is that of course, people have a lot of trauma, right? And trauma is just anything that has, and of course, my hands are clean and all that, y'all. Trauma are just things that have impacted you in your life in a certain way, right? Whether that be negatively or positively, right? But sometimes when the trauma effect has affected you negatively, right? It's almost like, if someone coined this term, right now I can't remember the name of the person, but um they coined the term, or not, maybe not a term, but just like the concept that these traumas create an injury to your heart, right? Hence why later in life you get the things of like as you get older, right? Your body changes as you get older. And so sometimes some of the things that occur, like pain, or right, you never had like any issues with your health, right? You were always, somewhat healthy. You never had problems with like your blood pressure, problems with like your heart, anything like that. Everything was pretty much, you know, normal per se. And then all of a sudden you start getting all of these things, right? And it's like, where is this coming from? You may not have like a family history, right? You've never had to take like medication or anything like that, right? And so all of a sudden you start getting chronic pain. Not maybe not even chronic, just like aches, pains, things like that, right? All of a sudden, right? All of a sudden you start getting headaches, all this other stuff, right? And so sometimes when you look back at things that have happened in your life, especially things that were never resolved per se, or things that you've never really coped with, right? The body keeps the score of all of those things. There's an actual book called The Body Keeps Score. And sometimes I recommend it to my clients. It's not so much of like a um to read, it's almost like a reference book because it kind of focuses on like veterans and PTSD, things like that. But it helps you understand that yes, the body does keep score of all of those things. And even though you felt like you moved on, baby, the body is holding on to it. The body is right there with it, like, oh, this is this is a lot that we dealing with, right? Um, so yes, that is a real thing. It's absolutely a real thing, right? So this is why it is so important to try to resolve some of those things, right? Or to recognize that these are things that you need to learn to cope with, right? The things that you have not resolved affect decisions that you are making in your life right now, right? And so, one of the biggest things that I see in my practice is that there are people who have a lot of trauma related to relationships, and not just regular relationships, but the relationship that they have or had with their parents. And a lot of times it's the relationship with mom, right? So when you kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of things and start talking about certain things and how life was like when you were a child and what your relationship was like with your mom and things like that, girl. When you think about that thing, it's it's like wow, right? And so when you don't have or didn't have a good relationship with your mom, or she was not there for you in certain ways, I won't get into those ways right now. Y'all trying to do my eyebrows, but I don't know if this is gonna work. Um, Certain things that she was not capable of doing for you, it's little do you know it's an injury to your heart, right? Because this is the closest relationship that you can have as a child. We learn so many things from mom, right? How to interact with other people, how she handles situations, right? How she responds and reacts to certain things and people, right? How she is in relationship, how she takes care of herself, right? All of these things you learn from your mom, right? Let alone like if you didn't have your mom around, that's totally different and something else too that of course affects you. But if you have her around at some point, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, y'all. Hold on, give me one second, child. Girl, I don't know if this gonna work. I need a different I need a different mirror. Child, how do people do this? Wait. We're gonna fix it though. We gon' we gonna fix it. And this is what I know. Well, I don't do this every day, y'all. And I pretty much wear makeup when I go out. Like if I'm having girls' night or something like that, that's when I do my makeup. That's when I, judge it up a little bit. But right now, child, we ain't gonna do all that. Because we at home. What we doing all that for? And sometimes if you want to, you do it just, because you feel like doing it for that day. But I don't feel like doing all that today. And this is 40-ish, right? Because I'm 40 and right at this age, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. And that's just the bottom line. I don't feel like it, child. I don't feel like it. And so if I don't feel like it, right, then that's just what it is. But some days I do, which was today. which was today. And so that's what I'm gonna do. So that's cool. That's just that little brow gel or whatever that they sell. Yeah, that's what that was. Just to make them look a little decent, not too much, not too much. So yeah, so when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, of what was life like with my mom, right? How did she treat us? How did she handle things? How did she respond to things? Things like that. Girl, when you start thinking about it, mm-mm-mm. There's so many people who come to this realization, who have come to this awareness that, you know what? My mom was not capable of giving me certain things that I needed as a child. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to blame your mom or anything like that. It's just that she wasn't able to do it. Right? Because she only knows to do what she learned. And if she didn't learn it, then she can't give it to you. She can't. Right? But doesn't mean that it did not hurt you in some way. Right? I hope I'm making sense, y'all, because I'm trying to do this makeup and I just thought I'd do something different today. So yeah. So it ends up that this is like an injury to you, right, throughout your life. And you never really learned how to handle it or realize that it is an injury or that it has some type of effect on you, right? But then once you get to a point where you say, okay, something is not right. Why am I having all these issues with my health, right? Why am I having all these issues with my health? Why am I in pain all the time? Why is it that I feel stuck? Why is it that I don't do well in relationships or it's something that's missing, right? A lot of times it's linked to that, right? It's linked to the relationship you had with your mom. So again, in when trying to heal your heart, right, you got to heal your mind too, right? It's part of it. And so when you think about it, right, there are, and I'll give you all a book too that I always recommend to my clients is Where You Start, because see, the thing too with therapy is that you kind of go back to understanding why and how you got to where you are, right? And then once you understand that and you're aware, okay, then we can work on moving forward. But if you don't even know how we got here, it's like, girl, you still gonna be stuck, right? You still gonna be stuck if you don't know how you got here. Right. So what do moms do when you think about if you are a mom or your mom, like what is it that in general you feel like moms do? There is no book or anything to being a mom, but like those core things that a mom would do, or also the expectations that people have for moms, what is that? Like what does that look like? Right? That looks like what? Nurturing. Moms nurture you, right? And y'all, I'm about to put on some chap. This is the best lip chap. I don't care what nobody say. This Burt's Bees. Can y'all see? Burt's Bees pomegranate. It is the best. It is moisturizing, and it's not like it actually stays all day. It's the best lip. It's like a lip balm, yeah. Right. What do moms do? Right? Or when you think about your mom, right? What did your mom do when you were a child that made you feel like you were nurtured? Just a little bit of blush, y'all. Not too much. Not too much on the blush. Not too much. Not too much. What did she do? Did she say I love you? Right? Was she the type of mom that gave kisses, right? Kiss you on your forehead, kiss you on your cheek all the time? Did she give you hugs? Things like that, right? Right? It's like some people, when they think about their childhood and they're asked those questions, they like, girl, my mama ain't doing none of that. My mama didn't do none of that. Mm-mm. She had to work. That's what it always boiled down to. She had to work, girl. She didn't do none of that. But then it's but I knew that my mom loved me. Okay, well, how did you know that? Right. A lot of times it's because she was providing, like working. I'm trying to find my little fluffy brush. I have a fluffy brush somewhere. Y'all, I got so many things here in this little area. It's ridiculous. It is. It's really ridiculous. Side note, I was watching. Have y'all ever watched these videos? I don't know the lady name, but it was so funny. She was doing like it's not a review or anything. She was doing like like talking about overconsumption and materialism and things like that, right? And so she was like reacting, yeah, she was reacting to certain videos of people doing, y'all know those videos where they show you how to stock the fridge, restock my fridge with me, or restock. One lady had like restock my, I don't know what it was, self-care room, or it was one lady who said, help me restock my junk drawer. Right. And so she was reacting to the videos and she was saying, oh, I watch these videos too, because it's like in some ways relaxes her. But she was like, look at all this stuff that people have. Like this one lady, oh my God. Y'all know I get off track. Um, this one lady was like, oh, and y'all, I don't know how to put on. That's one thing I never learned, how to put on some eyeshadow, child. And this is not eyeshadow. This is like just like a little uh brown color or whatever. Like what is it called? Like a little brown tone, my same tone or something like that. I forget. It'll come to mind. But anywho, just to have a little something up there. But child, I don't do no eyeshadow. I don't do that. I know y'all like, Ashley, what is going on? This is a mess. Um, yeah, so the lady was like, oh, uh, she had some, she said restock. I'm curious to see who has seen this. Restock my freezer with me. But y'all, she wasn't restocking it with like food, girl, she was restocking it with ice. Then I'm curious. Let me see what this is. She was restocking it with ice, and but it wasn't just like regular ice. She had different ice cube trays. Like she had one that was like, I think it was like around Christmas time. The one she showed, it was like gingerbread man ice. Not when you say it out loud, it's like this is ridiculous. Gingerbread man ice. It was peppermint ice with little pieces of chocolate in it. It was almond milk ice, oat milk ice, just all kinds of different ice. And it was like, this is what people this is what people do, right? She was talking about like overconsumption. I said all that to say, y'all, I got a lot of stuff. And it's not only just a lot of stuff, it's a lot of stuff that I don't use. I need to stop that, especially like makeup and stuff, because I don't wear makeup like that anymore. And not that I don't like it. It's putting on makeup sometimes is nice and relaxing, right? And I'm just putting a little bit, y'all, because I don't care if I have people care about the bags and all of that. I don't care. I don't care about that. This is me. If you don't like it, if you don't want to look at it, don't look at it, child. Don't look at it. This is just me. So I have a lot of things that I need to like go through, especially I think I mentioned before when it comes to nails, girl, it's out of control. When it comes to nails. Because at one point, it's because at one point I had the time, I did. I had the time to do those things. I had a little bit more time to do like um more more time for the self-care and things like that, right? But now I don't really have that much time. So either now, if I have the time, I will do my nails myself. But if I don't, I would just go to the nail shop. But I have all the stuff now. I got all the stuff to do it. I just don't have the time. But anywho, so yeah, so she was talking about look at all the stuff that people buy and consume, and it's like this is a lot of stuff. It was a that lady, and so what she did was, it was so interesting. What she did was she went in the lady's description box and she saw all the links to everything, and she added up how much everything would cost. Like if you wanted to if you wanted to do it yourself, if you wanted to have gingerbread ice people or whatever, right? Girl, it came up to like 500 and something dollars to make all this stuff. And I was like, wow. Like she had a good point. She had some good points. But yeah, so I said all that again to say is that I need to go through a lot of things and just kind of, get rid of some stuff. You really only need if you or into makeup and stuff like that. Now the people who do it, the gurus, they probably got it all, honey. But on an everyday basis, you really only need about maybe 5, 6 products. You don't need that much. You don't need that much. So yeah. So yeah, so back to the moms, right? So when you think about it, it's like, what what did your mom do? What did she do when it came to nurturing, right? And that's only one of the things that we expect moms to do. Or not that we expect, but well, yeah, expect, because it's those things are also what we have seen moms do naturally, the majority of moms. right? That's what they do naturally. If you hurt, they're gonna run to you. They're gonna pick you up. They're gonna hug you. They're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Let mommy help you." You know, this is what moms do. It's like an innate, and some people don't have that. You know, that innate type of natural type of mom characteristic, right? And some people think they don't have it. But once they have children, it's like it's built in you, kind of, right? And it just comes naturally. You know, a lot of some moms say, "Oh my gosh, what kind of mom am I going to be? I don't know how to do this or that." You know, especially having for their children for the first time. It's like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this?" You know, and once the baby comes, it's like, boom, you got it. It's just natural, right? So yeah, so when you think about what your mom did, how did she do that? How did she nurture you, right? And so now, if you come to the conclusion, right, that mom did not provide that for you, now y'all got to put on my glasses because I can't see y'all. Okay, so this is pretty much it. That's all I need. I'm not getting ready to go out. um, right. So pretty much when you look at that and you say, okay, my mom was not able to provide that, right? Maybe she wasn't capable. Maybe she had other things going on, right? To where she didn't really have the time to attend to children. Sometimes single moms go through that as well, right? They're having to do everything. They're working, taking care of the kids, trying to make sure the house is together and all of this. And so when you have so much going on, something is going to kind of fall off a little bit. And not that it's fair or that it should happen, right? But sometimes it's, the kids, right? And so if mom didn't do those things, when you become an adult, and you didn't get nurturing, you didn't get the love yous, you didn't get maybe quality time with your parents, things like that. You, even though now you are an adult and you can think for yourself and you can understand and have empathy for your parents of the reasons why they weren't capable of doing that for you, it doesn't mean that you don't still need that, right? It doesn't mean that. And so now, because your parents weren't able to provide it, it's like you are looking for it, right? And so now when you think about and so think about this. You already have the injury, right? You may have a little bit of resentment towards your parents, just depending on whatever circumstance or situation it was. So the injury is in your heart already. You don't know this, right? You don't know that it's an injury, right? But when you talk about your parents, when you're not communicating with them, when you don't want to have anything else to do with them, when you have a little bit of resentment towards them, that's that injury. It's like you are hurting, and the hurt and sadness comes out as the anger, right? I don't want to talk to them anymore. They did this to me. They knew what was going on. They knew what happened to me, things like that, right? And they didn't do anything about it, right? Not getting the nurturing, all of this, right? So your heart is hurting, right? And so, in order for you to resolve that, you got to find that nurturing from somewhere. From somewhere. Most times this happens when you get into a relationship, right? Because also your mom has shown you how to be in relationship with someone based on the relationships that she had, right? She has shown you how to communicate with someone, how you should interact, right? How you should resolve any challenges you have in a relationship, right? This is naturally how you're going to do that, right? So now you out looking for somebody, or maybe somebody's found you, right? And they start to give the nurturing, right? You getting the quality time, They anytime you need them, they are there. They drop everything for you. They tell you, I love you all the time. They give the affection, right? And this is what you've been looking for. This is what you have been craving, right? So it's like this is the person. This is the person. But then they do other things that are not so good, right? You know, some and it could be extreme things like the domestic violence situations, things like that. It could be other things like cheating. It could be emotional abuse, right? Things like that. And so when those things might not happen in the beginning. In the beginning, all you seeing is love, affection, quality time, right? It might even be small things like um him call the person calling you all of the time, right? You're viewing this as, oh my gosh, they checking on me, they care about me, they want to know how I'm doing, right? They care about my well-being, right? Did I get to work safely, right? Am I getting home safely? They want me to call them every time I get to my destination, things like that, right? And because you didn't get those things, right? It's like, okay, this person really is for me, right? This is what you've been missing, right? But then you start noticing other things. Again, extreme could be domestic violence, right? Could be cheating, right? The emotional abuse, being talked down to, making you feel small, right? Things like that. And it's like, logically that, oh, something ain't right. Right. Sometimes that those things you're like, okay, this doesn't feel good, or why would they do that, right? But you put those things aside because they gave you what you were craving, right? They feel a little bit of the injury, right? They feel that spot a little bit. So it's like, okay, this other stuff is okay, or you rationalize it. It's really not that bad because they are giving you all those other things, right? So then, but as you grow, as you change, as you start to learn more about yourself and things like this and go to therapy, right? Now you become more aware, like, okay, this is really not what it should be, right? And with relationships, we get with people based on what we need at the time, right? At the time when you met them, you needed nurturing, you needed affection, you needed love, you didn't have that, right? But I want to challenge you, if you are in this type of situation, or if this resonates with you, is to nurture yourself, right? Instead of looking for it from other people, right? Or not resolving what you didn't get. You have to give it to yourself, because now, after you do that, and then you find someone you want to be in relationship with, now you're going to be in a healthy relationship because you've already fulfilled those things for yourself, right? Because then, too, you can expect, this is where those expectations come in that we have for people. There are a lot of people, believe it or not, that expect their partner to make them happy, to um take care of them emotionally. And it's not the partner's responsibility to do that. You are responsible for that. So imagine if you have done this for yourself and now you go into a relationship. Oh, okay, this is most likely going to be a healthy relationship, and you don't have those expectations of someone else, because baby, when you have the expectations like you should be doing this, why you didn't do it like this, you could have said it like that, oh, you about to be disappointed every time, because they're not going to do it the way that you do it, right? And they aren't even aware that and you might not even be right, that this is what you need, right? They don't know how to give it to you. And again, it's not their responsibility. So, anyone who has had or that this resonates with when it comes to having this injury with from parents or from mom, right? There is a book that is very helpful that will help you to heal from that, right? And it's going to help you in other areas of your life as well, in relationship and work, all those things, right? And so, however, what needs to be coupled with you reading the book is you need to get in therapy, right? Because you need someone that will kind of guide you through these things as well. But it's a good read for you to say, okay, this is what it is, right? And so the book is called Mother Hunger. This is an excellent read, Mother Hunger. And it's very interesting. It's really based on the feedback that I've gotten from my some clients, from colleagues, and things like that. Right. After reading the book, I mean, it's a good read. It's really a short read. I think it's like it might be 200 pages or something like that. Um, once you from the first page, if this is truly your experience, you are going to resonate with it and you're going to want to keep reading. Right. So this is a good read to help you on like a healing journey when it comes to I hope y'all can see Mother Hunger, when it comes to healing yourself from that relationship that you had or didn't have with mom. Right. So this is a good one. Um, right. So yes. So, in honor of National Heart Month, you also please remember you have to heal your mind, right? Your mind is also connected to your heart. And remember that the body keeps the score of so many things, so many traumas, things that we have not resolved in relationships, in life in general, right? And if they are not resolved, at some point the body gets tired and those things are going to come out. Hence, issues with your blood pressure, pain, um, headaches, migraines out of nowhere. Anything that's happening with your body is like, okay, I don't know where this is coming from. I've always been pretty healthy. I've never had any issues, right? It doesn't run in my family or anything like that, right? This is something to really take into consideration and to factor in, right? Are there things in my life that have been very significant and have impacted me in such a way where I didn't realize it, but I need to deal with it, right? This is where you're going to have to go ahead and find a therapist, right? And start to kind of heal from those things. So yeah, so y'all, so I got the makeup on, right? I got the makeup on and I didn't use a lot of things. Only thing, let me see, I used some brow gel. I used, of course, my foundation. I'm trying to think. The foundation that I use is what is this? MAC Studio Fix Fluid. But I also have the uh Match Master. I have that too. Sometimes I use that. It just depends. Or it depends on like the season. Because in the summer, your skin, the tone changes and things like that. But I live in a warm climate, so most of the time it's the sun. I mean, the sun is always out. Now, the past week or so, it's been kind of cold, and especially in the morning. But it seems to like warm up a little bit. So yeah, so that just depends on the season. Right now, I want to share with y'all too this NYX butter gloss, and these might be, child. I already know it's a lot of new makeup products, things like that. But I haven't bought makeup in a long time. Um, I or tried new, like, different ones, like different foundations and things like that. I haven't done that in a long time. I stick to my tried and true because I know just works, right? But the NYX butter gloss in the like the shade, your skin shade colors, these are good too, along with that Burt's Bees. But this is called Caramel. So this one is good as well, the butter gloss. And then what else can I mention? Oh, I have a contour palette from like what is this called? Black Radiance. Yeah, Black Radiance, the contour palette. I have that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I use. And then my what is this called? The under eye concealer. I use just a tad bit of that. I don't like it too light or anything. If I find that something is too light, then I'll just, use my foundation brush to kind of, blend that back in a little bit. And then a little bit of blush. This blush is also from Black Radiance. I just don't find it necessary to be buying, I don't know, Dior blush and all of this stuff. Especially if you're not wearing makeup every day. Now, if I have like a meeting or somewhere I'm going where I'm presenting and things like that, then I might judge it up a little bit. But for the most part, I don't do all of that. And of course, moisturize. Like the your skin care routine or your face routine, right, is most important no matter what products you're using. If you don't have that base where your skin is smooth and moisturized and things like that, no matter what you're using, it's not going to come out right. And that's just my opinion. So I moisturize every day. I use like a basic moisturizer. I forget the name of they sell it at Sephora. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe I'll do like a favorites video because I do have some favorite products that I buy over and over and over again for the face and for the body from Sephora. So I might do a favorites. Depends on how I feel. Um, so yeah, so that's all I used, right? I hope you all enjoyed this. And again, get this book if you all want to heal from any trauma when it comes to relationships with your parents. Now, when you think about trauma, it doesn't have to be, a lot of times when people think about trauma, it's with PTSD, right? Something egregious that has happened to them. You think about, maybe someone being assaulted or, them witnessing some assault or witnessing just a traumatic thing happening to someone else. Trauma is just things that have impacted you in your life, right? And so, whatever that is, if it has anything to do with, oh my gosh, I didn't really have such a good childhood. You know what I mean? Like if you really think back and you're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, there could have been some things that, or there were some things that should have been different, or if it were a different way, right? I would have learned this or that and all of this. Right. This book will help you with that. There are a lot of other books that I have read that are helpful for like, I feel like for your self-healing journey, for self-improvement and things like that. Maybe I will share those in like maybe I'll make this like a little series. I don't know, like a favorites video or something like that. Let me know in the comments if you watch this, if you would like something like that, because I have some other books that I feel like they're very helpful. And I've gotten feedback that they've helped a lot of people. And so yeah, so I'm so glad that I was able to do this today. I had a little bit of time. Y'all know it's few and far between where I have a little bit of time to like come on here. I wanted to do like a video of this, but I told y'all before, I cannot be, I'm not gonna say I cannot. Let me not say that. I have very little time for editing something. Like me actually sitting down and editing, going through, I could be doing There are other things that are more important on my list that are much more of a priority on my list that I have to do. And this is just a hobby. Child. So so I would rather just do a live and just show you what I use, right? So yeah, so I'm glad that I was able to do that today. And so I hope you enjoy. I hope this helps someone. Make sure that you all heal your heart and mind. This is also let February also be a reminder to check on your physical health. It is also Black History Month. Let us never forget that, right? And kind of delve into that. If you are a parent, make sure you educate your children on the month and things that are important related to Black history. We should be doing that every day, right? Um, and I hope again this is helpful. You enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you all want to see, or if there's anything or any topic related to mental health, therapy, if you are a therapist and trying to figure out how to enter into private practice, anything like that, let me know. And I'll see if I can help in any way. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you get some self care in, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.